Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming podcast. Today is the 12th August of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be one of your hosts for the evening. The second host is Tygergamer. Hey Tiger, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
I'm good. Somewhat tired, but good. So, I think we should spare no time and start talking about video games. What do you think?
Yes, that sounds excellent.
So, did you get to play anything interesting this week?
Oh yes, I got to play a little bit of Flipping Death this past week.
Oh, that was the weird looking game that was like made on drugs,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, is it still a game on drugs even after you played a bit of it?
Yes, it is.
So, what can you tell us about it?
You play as a person who has recently died, and she becomes the temporary Grim Reaper, while the real Grim Reaper goes on vacation.
Okay.
And you have to solve the problems of the dead, while also finding out the mystery behind your death.
Okay, I wonder what problems do dead people have?
Let's see here. There's one where I had to solve this woman's murder.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to do that, I had to fix this dead guy's boat up, like get it painted and all that.
Okay.
And in order to do that, you actually have to give an ability where, like, it goes from the land of the dead to the living world.
Okay.
And you have an ability to possess the living in order to solve different puzzles. Like, there's one guy who likes to poke stuff, and you just go around and you can just poke people with that character.
Okay.
Or a guy who likes ice cream. You got to use him to paint the boat with. But in order to do that, you gotta get a guy with a drill to drill a hole in the paint can, and then you gotta paint the boat, and then use a guy who likes to lick stuff. He gets stuck on a freezer where the woman's dead body is, and that's how you solve the murder.
So the game is using moon logic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, you know what? That actually sounds fun. Did you find it fun?
Oh yeah. Shame that I haven't had a chance to play more of it.
Oh, how much of it you played?
I'm on chapter 2, so like less than 2 hours.
Okay, well, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
So you think you're gonna finish it?
Oh yeah.
You want to see how the story goes, or you just want to see more wacky shit happen?
A little bit of both. And also, not to mention, the humor in it is actually pretty good. Even though humor is subjective, it's my type of humor. So.
So, would you give it a recommendation?
Oh yeah, if you like these types of games, go and give it a try. It's like I think $20 right now. So.
Yeah, it's probably $20 since it's 16.79 euros.
Yeah.
So that will be pretty much equivalent to $20. Okay, honestly, I haven't gotten time to play much this week. The only real new thing I played this week was the new Hearthstone expansion, the Boomsday Project.
Okay.
I played a bit of Arena, actually. Yeah, that is just my favorite mode in the game. And I gotta say, I went much better than I expected. I managed to go 12-2. And if anybody doesn't know, you can do only 12 wins maximum in Arena. And you can lose only 3 games, otherwise you're just, you can't play that mode anymore.
Oh, wow.
So, you need to restart. So I was pretty happy with my results there. But in general, it was somewhat insane. There's a lot of new cards, obviously, so there's a lot of stuff to still discover. I was pretty proud of my first attempt of this new arena. I gotta say, it's more minion based than the previous expansion. There it was more spell based, and I prefer a minion based arena. And I also got a pretty good deck. I got essentially a control warrior, so it was all about controlling the board. And that fits my playstyle perfectly. So I had plenty of fun with that. So anybody who likes Hearthstone, the new Boomsday project, is actually a fun expansion. There are a lot of new combos in the game. A lot of cool shit happening. So definitely try that out. Okay, what else have you played this week?
I also got to play We Happy Few.
Oh, the game that was banned in Australia for a while.
Yep.
So do you think it was ban worthy?
Honestly, no. And the reason why is I'll go and jump into one of the main mechanics of the game where in order to like blend in, like in the main city areas, you actually gotta pop a joy pill so people won't get suspicious of you. And sure that might keep you hidden for a bit, but as soon as the meter goes all the way down, you go into withdrawal.
Okay.
And you start seeing all this weird shit, and people become more and more. They actually become hostile against you because they know that you're withdrawn from joy.
Oh, how do they know?
Well, for one thing, sometimes when you go into withdrawal, you could actually vomit.
Oh, okay, so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fairly obvious.
Yeah. And not to mention, also in order to blend in, if you're like in a main city area, wear proper clothing.
Okay.
Like nice clothing and all that. But if you like go out of the city and go into the downer parts of the game, you actually got to wear a torn suit in order to fit in. So one thing I kind of like is like you actually got to make sure that your character's dressed properly to blend into certain areas, which I think that's pretty cool. But also, this game, even though it's fun to play, it is still buggy.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people complain about that. Like the game just crashes for a lot of people, from what I heard. So
I've not experienced any crashes, but
well, this is more the PC crowd, from what I heard. What sort of bugs did you experience?
One bug I experienced was I had to sneak into this sex club, and I had to put on a rubber suit to get past the guard at the gate.
Okay.
And I found the rubber suit, put it on. He didn't even notice I had it on until later on when I had to restart from an earlier save point. I went back, did the same thing. He let me right in through the gate. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that sucks when there's bugs in the games. Hopefully they fix those soon. But apart from the bugs, is it fun?
Oh yeah. The story is the main draw for me in this game is the story. So, the world is so intriguing to me. Like, takes place in alternate 1964, where the U.S. never entered World War II, and the British had to surrender to the Germans, and of course they were being oppressed and their lifestyle sucked, so they had to turn to joy to make them feel a false sense of happiness, which I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they were like thinking on some kind of social commentary there. But honestly, I don't think I see a direct parallel to anything like in the real world, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. But also, in like in the stealth, like when you're trying to get past, get to sit without people noticing that you're not taking your joy.
Mm-hmm.
There's some points where you like go past like a camera,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you that you can like say you need to take your joy immediately, otherwise you'll get killed by that robot.
Mm.
So,
So
in fact, there's actually one.
Yeah.
There's actually one point where I was going through this area, and one of the things said you need to take your joy immediately, and I didn't comply. I went to the next room, freaking locked the door on me, but I managed to lockpick the door to get out. And right as I was heading out, they're trying to gas me. I was like, wow, that's very interesting. So,
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, if you're interested in the world that they're trying to build here, I would say just for that, give this game a try. But if the game is too expensive for you right now, I'd say wait for it to go on sale. Otherwise,
yeah,
do what you will with the money.
So, I would also probably say wait until the bugs are fixed, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anything else you played this week?
Oh yeah, also went back and I decided to finish up the first Guacamelee.
Oh, and how was that?
Actually, I beat that game in 2 sittings.
Okay, that sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, the game was actually enjoyable. Like, it wasn't difficult for the sake of difficulty. Like, at first the game, just like older games, start out easy to get you used to the mechanics and all that. Then when you get to later on in the game, if you're not careful, get your butt whooped. But yeah, Guacamelee, I'm glad I actually decided I wanted to go back to finish the first one because, like I had on my PS4, but I never really gotten around to playing it, and I decided to play it, and yeah, it's a fun time if you hadn't played it, and you don't have to play the first one to get into the second one, which come out on the 21st. But still, if you want to see what the game is like, I highly recommend the first one as well.
Yeah, it's probably a good choice to play the first game before you play the second iteration.
Yeah.
Okay, and anything else you played?
I played a little bit of Dead Cells, but I'm still making my way through that, so I'll talk about that next week.
Okay. That's actually all I played this week, though, because I've been working a ton on Chibera this week. So we've been working on essentially what I would call the white paper for Chibera. So just to give you an example, the table of content itself is about 4 pages.
Dang.
And that's just a table of content. And like there are places, when you're like writing a thesis or something, you do like category 3, subsection 1. So to give you an example, we have like category 3, subsection 7, subsection 14, subsection 7.
Dang.
So yeah, we did a lot of work on that, and it's actually not that much writing, to be honest. It was mostly us talking out stuff. So to give you an example, we decided that we want to have 5 classes, at least in the alpha. We may go for more later on, but for the alpha we will be doing 5 classes. It's pretty much your like stereotypical fantasy classes for the most part. You have your warrior, marksman, mage, rogue, and pirate. That's like the only one that's not so standard we did. But what we decided to do is, have you ever played Path of Exile?
No, I have not, but I've seen gameplay of it. Gameplay of it in the past. So.
Do you remember like how their talent or skill tree looks?
Yeah, a little bit.
So we decided to go with something, not exactly that obviously, but something along those lines where even if you're a warrior at the start, you can become pretty much any class you want in the end. More specifically, we decided that like each of these classes will have like 3 paths they can take, and each of these will be, well, one of them will be able to fill out the role that you usually need. So for example, for warrior, we have a tank essentially tree, a DPS tree, and a support tree. And the same we have for the pirate. And for the rogue, we even managed to create a tank rogue. Like,
oh, wow.
design-wise. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. The fun part about this discussion was we had an 1.5 hour long discussion with Deacon Sloth about whether pirate is a separate thing or whether it's a subclass of either warrior or rogue. So literally half an hour we talked about, are pirates a class or are they a subclass? So that was an insane conversation. Otherwise, it was, your standard stuff like deciding what kinds of gear you will be able to find with the game, like shoulder pads, capes, trinkets, the standard stuff, what kind of weapons. We decided actually to for a pretty broad variety of weapons, I think. The standard, like swords, axes, maces, bows, guns. We actually decided to go for wands for magic users. So I think that should be pretty cool. Another discussion that took forever was the stat discussion. What kind of stats will we have? Our main developer was essentially saying he would like your almost stereotypical fantasy game where you have, vitality, dexterity, agility, endurance, luck. The first thing I did, I managed to talk him straight away out of luck, because I think luck is a horrible stat in an MMO. Especially if you focus on it. My argument essentially was, you're focusing on a stat that makes you get better gear while you're contributing less to the team's effort. What we did with the luck stat, we renamed it Lucky, and it's pretty much critical hit strike. Like what's your chance of getting a critical strike? Otherwise, it's your almost typical stats. The interesting one I think we went for is that we don't have the same stat for healers and magic-based DPSs.
Okay.
We do have intelligence for magic DPSs, and we have faith for healers. So I think that one was pretty cool. And from there on, it was like mostly easy, but we still had to fine tune the details, like what kind of quests we want to see in the game, what types of PvP. There will be more PvP than what we have in the white paper currently, because again, this is only for the alpha. So this was like what's gonna appear in the alpha itself. And then, in the end, the most fun part was when we were discussing the races that will be in our games. And I brought up a point that nobody had thought about. What is the pronunciation of these names? Because we already had the names for the races created. We want to have 10 races in the game, where one of them will essentially be neutral. And the others will, be somewhat at war between each other. But for example, we have a race that is called Damu. But the thing is, that could also be pronounced in several different ways. You can also pronounce it Damu or Dami, depending how you decide. So everybody's like, wait, we haven't thought about this at all. And then they were like, okay, how do we write this down? And I was like, you know what? My half year of studying English at university actually comes useful here. I know the English phonetic alphabet. So I wrote these names literally down in the English phonetic alphabet. They're still slightly subject to change because this is a thing that's highly like story based. It's more lore rather than mechanics.
Yeah.
So once we get a writer and he just thinks this doesn't fit, we might change those. But I don't think anybody or most people wouldn't understand why this is important. So for example, imagine there's me and our main developer on a stage at a conference, and I call this race Damu, and he calls them Dami. That's super confusing to the players, and they don't know how to call them. Obviously, the players can come up with like nicknames for them, but yeah, it's actually pretty important to have consistency here, and I don't think most people realize how consistency is actually important in pronunciation. So that was another fun part conversation, but on this white paper this week, and it's still not finished, we spent at least 40 hours, but probably more. And we already had a table of contents done, at least. That was what the developers did. Like, this is the stuff we need for us to actually, like, start making stuff. So we were talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And tomorrow morning, we're going back to talking.
I bet that'll be fun.
It's actually okay because you can do other stuff while doing it, you know, like.
Yeah, true.
It requires some amount of concentration, but it's not like you can't browse the internet while doing it and watch stupid funny pictures at least.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it actually for what I think what we did this week. Let's actually move on to the news. What do you think?
Yes. Sounds good.
So let's start with this week's big topic, and this one is about Discord. As Discord has launched a new beta feature for 50,000 random Canadian Nitro users that allows them to buy games off Discord.
Awesome.
So there are a few interesting caveats to this. First one is that if you have the Nitro subscription, you also get access to a suite of free games, which include for the moment games like Saints Row the Third, System Shock Enhanced Edition, Metro Last Light, or Super Meat Boy. Obviously, the games list will be becoming bigger over time. In comparison, the games that are on sale are Into the Breach, Hollow Knight, Dead Cells, and Frostpunk. But the most interesting part here is the fact that they decided to go... Remember when Steam was still like a list of specifically curated games?
Yes.
That's the way they're going for.
Okay.
And they essentially want to replace Steam as your gaming hub. Not more like their gaming store, because if they wanted to replace Steam as the gaming store, they would need to just have everything on there. But if they're going for a curated list, I can see them just going for, you know, this is the place where you go when you want to go gaming. This is the place where you launch games. Because if you remember, that is a feature that they included a few months ago, I think about 2 months, where you can now launch games from Discord. And it can be any game. It can be. It doesn't have to be only Steam games. It can be also GOG games. It can also be Blizzard games, for example. Meaning you only need one launcher running on your computer. So, what do you think of this? For me, the most interesting part is the curation here.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I think, especially if they're going to start selling games on there, hey, more competition is always a good thing.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with. And honestly, I think they're pretty much the only ones who have a chance to challenge Valve. They have about 150 million users who obviously aren't using the Discord servers only for chatting with each other in game. They're also using it as we are, for example, when we're going to, let's say, TeamSpeak, just to chat with people. But the vast majority of people who use Discord, I would say at least 80% will most likely be gamers. And that gives them a potential 120 million users who will buy games for them. Also, I forgot to mention, they already got a deal with a few publishers. For example, the publisher Raw Fury's Bad North said that they will have an initiative where the game will arrive to Discord earlier than the other platforms, like a week or two. So this might be like their killer feature, I think. You know, there are games for which people will be very, very happy to play them a week earlier than they could otherwise. So do you think you will be using Discord to buy games?
Oh, possibly whenever I get a PC.
When is that gonna happen? When is that gonna happen?
I don't know yet.
You've been talking about it for a long time, man.
I know. But I'll get around to it one day.
Okay, moving on to the next topic. Let's talk Bethesda. And let's talk Bethesda the bad way for first. So Bethesda has blocked a resale of an unopened copy of The Evil Within 2. And they filed a lawsuit which essentially stated this: unless you remove all Bethesda products from your storefront, stop selling any and all Bethesda products immediately, and identify all sources of Bethesda products you are selling, we intend to file a lawsuit against you. The lawsuit would seek disgorgement of profits, compensatory damages, attorney's fees, and investigative and other fees. A guy from Bethesda actually came out, and the senior vice president of Bethesda, Pete Hines, came out and commented on this, and he said it's all about the fact that the guy who posted this posting used the word new in it. And this just sounds super weird to me.
Sounds freaking stupid to me.
Yeah, like, essentially what they're saying is because he bought it and now he's reselling it, it's a second-hand game, not a new one. It's just, I don't know. It seems like the silliest semantics argument I've heard in a long while, man. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, if it's just for saying that it's new, you could just change it saying mint condition or something like that.
Yeah, that seems like, you know, like, second, you just don't include the word new. Like, say, still unopened or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, this is like the stupidest lawsuit, and I've heard of plenty of stupid lawsuits coming from America. You guys like to sue the shit out of each other.
Yeah, we do. Not including me.
But this is just petty.
Yeah, really.
I really hope this guy just he gets off fine. Nothing happens to him, because if something happens to him, then I will be very, very, very sad.
Yeah, same here. And I mean, what's up with Bethesda having all these lawsuits recently? I mean, come on. You're not making enough money off you don't make enough money off of Fallout and Skyrim and Doom that you need to go and freaking sue a single person because they said that unsold game is new.
You know what? I think I know what the problem is here. I think Bethesda saw what Blizzard was doing to a degree, producing a very few games of very high quality, and we cannot say Bethesda isn't doing that.
Yeah.
But they forgot about one thing. Blizzard has World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it's not their cash cow. Obviously, they still make tons and tons of money on it. But the thing is, it's a steady source of income for them. And it's highly predictable. So I think Bethesda is just not having enough of a steady cash flow. And their management is not panicking, but like scared about that fact. That they're when they release a game, they make a ton of money, obviously, with anything they do. Whether it's Fallout, whether it's Doom, whether it's the Elder Scrolls, whether it's going to be their new game Starlink. Obviously, anything Bethesda does will make a ton of money because Bethesda has a ton of fans. But if they want to be in the same position as Blizzard, they need to come out with an MMO. But though I want to say this, I hope they don't, because that would be competition for Chibera.
Yeah. Well, you really think about it, though. They already have one MMO out, and that's ESO. And, of course, got an online game that's coming out, which is Fallout 76.
Well, the thing is, ESO is nowhere comparable to World of Warcraft in terms of revenue. It's just not there. And while I gotta say, ESO is a fine game. It's better than anybody could have expected, to be honest. It's still nowhere near World of Warcraft, number-wise or revenue-wise.
Yeah.
So I think what they should do is come out with an MMO shooter. And I honestly think Starlinked, I think that's the name of the game, right?
No, it's Starfield.
Starfield. Sorry. Starfield will be that. It's going to be a sci-fi MMO shooter along the lines of Destiny. Yeah?
Actually, Todd Howard, he said that Starfield will be a single-player game. So...
Then that's a dumb decision from them. Because there are a few MMOs in the sci-fi genre. Probably the best well-known is Destiny. But none so far has managed to nail it. No, you know what? Warframe is the closest. But Warframe is more of a dungeon crawler rather than an open world game.
Yeah, but they do have a few open areas.
Yeah, but it's not its focus.
Yeah, true.
Destiny is closer to that, I think. And imagine if they actually did it in like a world where you're traveling from planet to planet. It would essentially be like Star Citizen Light. Because honestly, at this point, I'm not giving Star Citizen any hope. It's just been too long since they promised it.
Oh, yeah.
Bethesda.
Yeah, real.
And in all more Bethesda-related news, Fallout 76 will not be appearing on Steam. That's a bold and dumb move, in my opinion. We talked last week about Fortnite not using the Google Play Store, and then I actually said it was a good idea, because Fortnite is such a big deal that they can actually pull it off. I don't think the same applies for Fallout. It's a good game, and Fallout 76 will honestly be a great game, but there are two factors. First of all, it's nowhere near as big as Fortnite. And secondly, We're talking about the PC platform, not about mobile. And the thing is, on mobile, you're only installing Fortnite. You're just not installing it through the store. When it will come to Fallout 76, you will be forced to use their launcher, meaning that you will have to install 2 programs to play one game. And I really, really dislike that. And I know that plenty of gamers hate when they have to install a special launcher for a game. There are very few companies who can get away with it. And I don't think Bethesda is one of them. Do you think they can get away with it, like, fine? Or do you think it will hurt them?
Oh, hey, only time will tell. But honestly, I would say go Bethesda for try something new for them. Because I mean, on the PC, yeah, sure, you got Steam and GOG, but I mean, really, they're trying to sell it on their own thing so they can make more money, so that way they don't have to give so much to Steam, putting on their site.
Yeah, that's fairly obviously the reason that they want more money.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think more people will be pissed about the fact that they have to install Bethesda.net app than the revenue will be that they make extra. I think there will be like 20% of users who just say, you know what, I'm not buying this because I'm not going to install another app. What makes me wonder is if you will be forced to install the Bethesda app even if you buy the physical version. If that is the case, then they may be able to pull it off, but still, I think it's not a good move from them. It's going to only make gamers angry. Okay, and moving on to our last piece of news for today. Let's talk about Nazis. Oh, to a degree. Let's talk about swastikas to be more precise. So Germany has decided to lift the ban on swastikas in video games. If you haven't known, Germany has not been allowing the use of swastikas in video games since like forever. I remember like with the original Wolfenstein this was the case. And for fairly obvious reasons. They were essentially afraid that it would promote the Nazi Reich, which is a big deal in Germany. But the swastika symbol has been previously allowed to be used in movies and TV if the context was correct. And now the USK, which is essentially the rating board for Germany, the equivalent of ESRB, the director Elisabeth Sega, she told CTV, this has long been the case for films, and with regards to freedom of the arts, this is rightly also the case with computers and video games. I think this is a good move from Germany.
Oh yeah.
Now, one more thing should be mentioned. This doesn't mean that you can make any game that has swastikas in it. It has to have context. It has to be used appropriately.
Yeah.
And it cannot be used to glorify the Nazi regime. Which I think is a good thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a free speech absolutist, to be honest. So, finally, Germany.
Yeah, really.
It should have happened like 10, 20 years ago at least.
Most definitely. Like I said a few weeks back, if you don't, even though the Nazis were bad, it's still part of Germany's history. And if they try to block that out, then they might make the same mistake again. So
yeah. Okay, so that's it for the news for today, unless you have something else you would like to talk about.
Nope. I sure don't.
We could technically talk about QuakeCon, but honestly, nothing that exciting has been shown there. Obviously, the gameplay trailers, especially for Doom Eternal, are fucking awesome.
Yeah, and Fallout 76.
Yeah, and you should go watch them. But I don't think it's news. It's more like, yeah. Gameplay trailer. Awesome. Then let's move to the last section of today's show. Let's talk about games that look interesting for next week. Would you like to begin?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to recommend The Walking Dead, the final season, which comes out on the 13th.
Okay, what can you tell us about The Walking Dead? Even though if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably know what the fuck this is.
Well, it follows Clementine with AJ, and from what I can tell, they still trying to survive. But of course, it's the final season, so hopefully it won't end on a sad note. But still, yeah, I cannot wait to see how the series ends.
I will not be playing this. I will be watching this, but not playing this.
I'll make sure to link you my video.
I fucking hate this adventure QTE genre.
That's understandable.
It's fucking boring. Nothing ever happens, and when it happens, you just press a button.
Yeah.
I would rather just have a Walking Dead movie, and I would much rather watch that.
Yeah, for me, if it wasn't for the characters, for the characters from the first season, I probably would have not liked the series myself, but the story grabbed me, and I freaking love it.
Okay, okay, now, mind if I go next?
Go for it.
Okay, first game I would like to recommend this week is called Reventa. And this is a third-person sci-fi melee brawler.
Okay.
And it has a pretty interesting aesthetic. It uses very much on-the-body visuals, so you can see every curve of the female character.
Huh.
This will obviously be liked by very many people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I will be playing it, though. I'm not a big fan of melee brawlers, but from the games that I've seen this week that are coming to Steam, this was one of the most interesting ones. It's coming out on the 15th. Sadly, we do not have a price yet. But it actually looks pretty cool. If you like melee brawlers with katanas, like sci-fi shit, and tight clothing on women, this will totally be your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anything else you would like to recommend this week?
Oh, yeah, there's the second game I had to recommend is a game called Death's Gambit, which looks like another Dark Souls-inspired Metroidvania, so...
I think I'm all played out for like a month on Metroidvanias.
Same here. Until Guacamelee 2 comes out. I'll definitely give that a try.
I don't think I'll be even giving that a try. But yeah, this one looks like a prototypical one. It's pixel art. It's going to be hard.
Yep.
If you like the genre, I'm thinking this will probably be your best choice for this month. Though, maybe Dead Cells. Depends on what you like better.
Yeah.
I do like the visuals on this one. I fucking love pixel art. And this one is like higher quality pixel art compared to Chasm. So I would go for that. Okay, this one is coming out on the 14th. The pre-purchase price is $19.99.
Yeah.
Okay, I got also one more game I would like to recommend. This game is called Evergarden. And this is a puzzle game that is probably casual because they have the tag relaxing here. And I fucking love its visuals. It's insanely colorful, using very bright colors with a combination of very awesomely looking shadows. And, you know, sometimes it's fun to not play something where you have to really focus, be in the moment. This is a game where you just think, relax, enjoy it, and sometimes that is a very, very good thing. And I will be actually definitely giving this one a try this week. Evergarden is coming out on the 16th, and sadly we do not know the price yet. That's it for my recommendations. Do you have anything else?
Same here. No, I do not.
Okay, then let's do the last section of the show, and that is shilling. I'll go first this week, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So you can find me on YouTube as Kralizec Gaming. My newest video is about Chasm. It's a review, as you might guess, because I do reviews. If you want to see me on Steemit, you can find me at Kralizec. And one other thing I would like to mention is, if you're interested in my or our MMORPG that is connected to the blockchain Chibera, we posted our first developer interview this week, so be sure to check that out. There's a lot of questions answered there, the basic information. The next one will be coming maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks, depending on how quickly we manage to finish this freaking white paper. Okay, now it's your turn to chill out.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube as Tygergamer. I just recently finished a Let's Play on Psychonauts, and I'm now doing a Let's Play on We Happy Few, so you look forward to that. And you can find me on Steam at Tygergamer, where I post my YouTube videos on there. So, either place, I'm there.
And that's going to be it for today, guys. We both hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you did, please consider giving us a like here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Steemit, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow because the gaming news series returns. See you guys later with more gaming content.
Yeah, have a good one.